Alright, let's see. How do I pause this? Because people are going to come to the counter. And I got to pause it. Can I pause? Fucking shit. Okay. We'll just keep on going. This is a jab. Sit in a cubicle. Shut your mouth and don't say anything. Okay, good night.
You too now, thank you.
I come here every day. I work 4 o'clock to 12 o'clock. And I get paid a set wage. Now, right now, I'm playing a game. I'm playing a money game. Money grows on trees. It's paper. So because people invest their belief into it, that's why it's worth something. So you got like Bitcoin out there. You got new and upcoming coins. Like if you were to invent a coin, you would first have to create some type of value. People would have to be out there that are willing to exchange that for some type of service or product. So you would have to start promoting the coin and then hook up with maybe Amazon and other sites in order to offer and say, hey, this currency that I'm offering, let's give it some value. And I'm willing to put my currency on there. So the United States dollar, it's only worth anything because people believe it's worth something. Now, I grew up in this system. See how I'm just sitting? See how I'm just sitting, rotting away in a cubicle? Here's the time clock. Everyone punches the time clock. There's all their names, all the other slaves. So this is what I do. From 4 o'clock to 12. I sit here. I buzz people in the building. I answer the telephono. And when people fall, I call ambulances for them. And this is the reality that I've been brought up in. This is what has been taught to me, that this is what is acceptable. And this is what I should be doing with my time. It's like an animal in the zoo. I'm like that animal in the zoo. Door opens up, food comes in. And that's all that we know. This system, this money, paper game, fake reality, matrix, Maya, whatever you want to call it, this fake system, it keeps us in slavery by controlling our food. And what is the food? It's just fake garbage. In the wild, animals don't even die. You never saw a bird or you don't see birds just falling out of the sky, dying of old age. And even your dog, the reason why domesticated house animals die is because we're feeding them dog food. They're not living in nature, they're disconnected, and they're living in an artificial reality. So people slaughter these animals, we kill them, and then we eat the death. We eat the death. And that is what we've been taught to do since the moment I came into this world in this physical body. I've been trained. I've been taught, well, you eat animals. And that was the way to control me and to put me in slavery. And you look at all these businesses, all that anyone serves is cheeseburgers, gyros. It's all food. It not only has genetically modified material in it, changes your genetics, but you're eating death. And that's why humans die, because they're consuming death every single day. We've been taught to consume death, to have people in our presence that tear us down, that say things that really just eat away at our soul. And we keep these people in our circle, these devils, and they speak death into us. Then we eat food that is death, and then we live in a completely artificial world, separated from the environment, separated from the sun, sitting in a box within a box within a box, and then let the heat run and then just breathe in the chemicals. And you wonder why people die? So what is this artificial world? Well, let's first think about, well, what is the true reality? Because in order to realize what the fake reality is, and see, we don't realize that this is all fake and artificial. We don't realize that because that's what we've been brought up into. But what is the true reality? You build a house, you have one built, you use the resources around you in order to build a shelter, and then you can pick the fruit off of the trees. You can eat that, fresh fruit. And water comes from the sky. So let's gather the water and then we could drink that. And maybe I'll run it through a purifier, but hey, I may be able to just drink the water right out of the stream or right out of the air. And that's clean. And then we can just breathe the clean oxygen. But see, in America, in this artificial world, our oxygen, there's planes flying by that's spraying aluminum, those white clouds in the sky. See, there is an agenda. If you go to Georgia, it's called the Georgia Guidestones. You have the 10 commandments of the New World Order. And the first commandment is to maintain the population under 500 million people. So 500 million. Whoever set up the Georgia Guidestones, whoever is behind the New World Order, their first commandment is to maintain the population to 500 million. Now we're at 6 billion people right now. 7. How are you going to eliminate 5.5 million people? You would have to train them from a young age to live in this artificial, fake reality. And you would have to train them to that the only thing that's out there, the only kind of information and words that you are to receive is fear, self-hatred, and death. That's why whenever you turn on the news, the radio, you go to church, you hear, you're dirt, you're nothing. And you need to be saved, and we're just going to hijack your thoughts and then put all these Bible verses in there and completely have you under mind control, put you in a fantasy world where you believe in talking animals. But then once you teach kids that from a young age, they don't know better because this is all that we've been taught. So you teach these people from the moment they arrive, in this body, in this world, you teach them to consume death. And that the only messages you're supposed to be receiving is just fear and pain and suffering. And suffering is a good thing because Jesus suffered. So everyone wants to suffer and rejoice in suffering. Well, hey, I'm suffering right now. I'm sitting in a box. I can't breathe because I'm breathing in recirculated air. See these ceilings? These ceilings are made out of asbestos. That's a chemical. It's damaging. At one time, this whole room, it was being redone and they were painting. And this whole room smelled like paint. And I sat in this box for 2 weeks breathing in paint. And then it started messing up my body. My heart started beating irregular. But I'm a slave and I'm not exposed to be... I'm supposed to just shut up and breathe in the chemicals, breathe in the paint, and let it affect my brain. Because if it affects my brain, well, then I'm going to keep on doing the same thing, and then people are going to be able to get over on me and profit off of my effort. So how do we harness these people's energy and then to get them working for us? That's why you take them at a young age. You take the tiger out of the jungle. This mean, ferocious animal. It's not mean unless you provoke it, maybe. I never saw a wild lion. I saw one in the zoo. But you take the lion out of the jungle, and then you put him in a cage. And you do this when he was a child, so you don't know better. And then you feed him steak every day. And it's like, Mr. Lion, if you're so smart, why are you still in captivity? Why are you sitting in a cage? Well, you came to me when I was a child. This is what you taught me. You taught me to surround myself with death. You keep on plugging my mind with fantasy and lies, misinformation, things that are a complete distraction. Get the attention off of myself and on somebody else, because we're so concerned what other people are doing. Meanwhile, our life is crash and burn. So what is the artificial existence? It's right here. It's what you see. It's what I'm in right now. It's disgusting. There's nothing going on. People, my last job, I walked around in circles and I served French fries that are genetically modified fries that have Roundup weed killer in it. They fry these in oil, and then I was serving half slabs of people. I'm serving fried food and swine. And I'm walking around in a circle for 8 hours a day, and probably 10. I would get to the fast food restaurant at 4 o'clock, and I would leave at like 1:30 every day. And now it's like I don't have any paper money to show for it because I spent it. Because there was traps set up along the way, and the depression from just doing the same routine, and the program of self-hatred that I accepted because I'm bombarded with it constantly. I accepted that and I fell victim to traps along the way, and I spent my money. So that kept me in this perpetual, I feel like a hamster on a wheel, just not going anywhere. Meanwhile, someone else is profiting off of my efforts. I do 100% of the work, and someone else takes 99% of my efforts, and I get 1%. Isn't that nice? So what is the artificial reality? It's everything that we experience every day in America. We go completely against nature. We're not in tune with nature, And everything that we bring into our circle is connected to death. And that's why we die. But then I could choose, from now on, I'm only letting people into my circle that speak good vibrations into me, that encourage me, that build me up, that give me good advice, that when I implement it, it leads me somewhere. It just doesn't lead me to a job walking around with a tray. Oh, thank you, enjoy. Or your advice doesn't lead me to just sitting in a cubicle. Because that's what the truth is. I've been lied to. I took bad advice, and the result was exactly the harvest, the thing that I received. And really, it's cause and effect. What else did I expect? But sometimes you do have to take people's advice, because in the beginning, you're a child, you don't know. And you can't, I'm not going to blame anything on my parents, because they're being taken advantage of. They're slaves. My dad is beat when he goes to work. He's beating his body and he's falling apart. My mom is falling apart. But then when you see what they keep on consuming, it's death. And then sit before that TV and then just get lied to. And then go to your church. Tinley Court, this is Brian. Hi. Okay, I'll be right down there. Okay, I'll see you in a sec. Oh, okay, all right, bye. All right, part 2's coming.